What's up, guys? So, today we're going to be going over a specific influencer's funnel, all the way from their social media posts, all the way up until their landing page, and then their back end system for, handling, inquiries and leads and whatnot. So, we're just going to be going through that, and I'm just going to be listing what I think they're doing well and what I think they could improve on, okay? Now, this isn't to give any advice, act all grandiose, like I know everything, okay? I don't know everything, and that's fine, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just giving my insights on what I know from experience, okay? So, I'm just gonna get straight into it. We have Kane Barber, and he is a weight loss coach, okay? So, he used to be overweight and he helped people lose weight, all right? So, just gonna really quickly just go through a couple of his posts and pick up what I noticed and where I think he can improve and what he's already doing well. So let's just take a look. Okay, so looking at that, there's a lot of things he does well, and I just want to point that out first because I don't want to be negative. But the first thing that I've realized about this guy is that he's no BS, right? He just tells it to you straight. And a lot of people actually want to watch content like that. They don't, at least me personally as well, it's like I like people who are straight to the point and just honest, even if it's harsh. Okay, so that's the first thing. He's very authentic and he's just being very honest. Okay, and in this industry, like if you're trying to lose weight, that helps a lot. Like you need to be honest with yourself. So yeah, that's what he did well. Okay, another thing that he did well is he didn't over edit it. Like he didn't put a bunch of like flashy, annoying edits that make it look corny. So that's the second thing he did well. He, I guess, fun fact if you hate that's actually good. I mean, he gave like a unique perspective, right? Because most people think that if they hate their life, oh, I hate my life, I'm depressed, let me just go on some antidepressants and just Netflix my life away. Okay, that's a lot of people's mindset. So the fact that he came in here and he flipped perspective and said, okay, no, like this is actually a good thing. You know, if you're depressed and you hate your life, it's your fault, which means you can fix it. That's like a unique perspective he's giving, and that's good. Now, those are the things he did well, but I just want to break down some things that I think he could improve from like a marketing perspective because obviously this video is very beneficial, but the thing is, people, if they're scrolling, they're already in a state of low attention, if that makes sense. Like most people, if they're scrolling, they're not going to spend all of this time watching this video if it's not straight to the point, in their face, entertaining. Okay, that's the unfortunate reality. Now, I know not everyone has a short attention span, but if you're scrolling, you most likely have developed a short attention span due to poor habits, anyways, right? So, if you're posting reels, it needs to be good and it needs to be quick, it needs to be entertaining. There has to be a hook. And that is the first thing that I noticed and I believe that he could improve on. It's by having a hook. And it's not rocket science, right? People, I haven't really been much in the social media space, but anytime I do, they just overcomplicate it way too much. And me, I am not Albert Einstein to understand all of these like complicated crap. So I like to simplify stuff, okay? And it's very simple. All I would do differently if I was this guy is I would just put like at the top a hook. And the hook just is basically what the video is about and just make it compelling. So that way they know, okay, like I'm gonna spend 30 seconds watching this. I wanna know at least what it's going to be about. That's the first thing. The second thing is I would recommend that he put some time into some captions, okay? Because captions, they're not necessary, but they do help, okay? Because small nuances in, I don't know how to say that word properly. Small nuances in content actually do make a difference. That's the thing about social media. Every single second of short form content matters because people's attention spans are short. And if you want to get your point across, you need to make the video as like to the point, entertaining as possible. Any way you can keep the viewer's attention is like it's worth putting time in getting that set up. Okay, now okay, I understand some people's content style is to be more laid back and more chill and not okay. The thing is, right, we can't use exceptions and consider it the rule. Just because we have some people who are just like grabbing their phone and yapping and then having no like captions whatsoever, just because that's working for some people does not mean it will work for everybody. At the end of the day, you really, when it comes to content, you need to test it out. You need to find, okay, what works, what doesn't, and you just need to find what works for you and double down on it. However, regardless of if he's tried adding captions to his videos or not, I think it's like such an easy way and such a simple way to keep the attention of viewers. It's just by having captions where they can read along. Okay, so that's the second thing. And the third and last thing, I wouldn't even say marketing, but this is more of like a psychology thing. And the third thing is, I would tone down a bit on the attitude. Not, I'm not saying he has an attitude, but for somebody who's overweight and let's just say they're, very depressed and they kind of hate their life, most people, if you say it like, okay, yes, a lot of some people are going to understand the message and they're going to resonate with it, but for some people this message is a little bit too hard. Okay, it's too harsh, and that doesn't matter if that's what you want, right? If you really want to go hard on targeting a specific segment of people, and if you're only looking to target people who are extremely, iron mindset, have a like strong, super strong mindset. If you only want to target those specific demographic of people who are extremely like David Goggins grind set mode, if that's the type of people you want to target and that's the only type of person you want to target, okay, fine. This type of messaging is perfect, okay, and you want to continue doing it. However, if you want to target demographic, a larger segment of the audience, then having a message like this that is extremely harsh can actually hurt you as a content creator, okay? And it doesn't sound, so that's the third thing I'd fix. I'd focus more on really just being aware of like the audience. It's like if you create a piece of content, you want to ask yourself, does my audience resonate with this? Does like the people I want to target resonate with this? If the answer is no, then you probably shouldn't. You should genuinely like rethink before you post something. You should think to yourself, okay, will my audience resonate with this? Will they like this? Because at the end of the day, it's your audience, it's your target audience that will pay you money. So it doesn't matter if other people don't like it. It's just about, does your target audience resonate with this message? Is it too harsh, right? Because if we're talking in the context of fitness coaching, you're going to have to give advice, and some of that advice is going to be quite sensitive, okay? So it's like, if you're going to give advice to somebody that is kind of about a sensitive topic, you want to be careful about how you deliver it. So that's the third thing I'd work on, is kind of the delivery, okay? Again, if you intend to be super David Goggins, harsh, then go for it. But if you want to, target a larger segment of the audience, then this type of delivery is probably going to drive people away and therefore decrease, the amount of leads and potential clients you could be having. So that's the third thing. Okay, now I just want to go over his actual landing page. Okay, so in his bio, he just goes briefly over what he has. So he says, lost 60 kilos, rebuilt my life, helping others view it too. Right, so that's like basically what he does. And then he says like what he sells. He has a lead magnet, free cookbook. Great. What I would do here is if he could fit anything extra, I would say how many recipes are in this free cookbook, because if you could list like a number for how many recipes, that would genuinely like help you a lot. Like it would actually drive more traffic to your website and to your cookbook, and it would help you get more conversions if you just mentioned that small detail, because that really helps. Trust me, as someone who has gotten like cookbooks and recipes before, I know exactly what I look for, because I actually am a part of the target audience, and I typically look for the number of recipes. Because if I know something has like 65 protein recipes, I'm snatching that, right? That's what I do if I could like add more text. Other than that, the buyer is solid. But let's go on to the coach. Oh, okay, I already went here. What about the supplements and affiliations? Okay, so for now, we're just gonna focus on his like main landing page, just because it will save time. This is like the main landing page, okay? So first things first, I just want to go over the landing page and where it can improve. So the headline is too vague, okay? And look, I don't want to go all nerdy and geek out on like why this headline is not good enough. So I'll try my utmost best to make it as simple as possible, okay? In marketing, there's something called market sophistication, okay? And basically, the fitness industry is extremely sophisticated, okay? And a headline like this, transform your body, a claim like this is not good enough anymore to actually persuade people, because people nowadays need a lot more to be persuaded because the market is a lot more sophisticated. And there are so many people saying transform your body. So the thing is about marketing is like you have to stand out, and also like the market is very sophisticated too. So what I change about this is you want to answer like the question, what's in it for me, right? And you might be thinking just a headline, just a couple of words, but this part of the landing page is the most important, because if if they don't continue scrolling, then you're done. They're not gonna continue. Like, okay, maybe they will, but if you don't get your the first section right, the rest of your landing page instantly becomes less powerful than it could have been because you didn't get the first thing right. So what I do is, instead of saying transform your body, there's three things you can do. You can either niche down, okay, like, and you can be like, okay, so I'm targeting here. He says, I help men build discipline. Okay, so there's three things you can do. You can either niche down, you can take the concierge approach, which basically means you make the experience more enjoyable, more luxurious for the customer. Okay, that's the second thing you can do. Or you can go down the path of the identity play. Number one, you can, when it comes to market sophistication, to make claims that people can actually believe in and captivate them enough to like continue reading. I don't know if this sounds complicated. I hope it doesn't. I'm trying my best to simplify it. To do that, you no longer can just make generic claims. You have to go down the path of either one of these three things, or you can combine them, and that you can niche down, make the the segment of your audience smaller. Instead of like targeting all men, you can target men in a specific age gap, and that instantly makes your claims more credible and believable, because if they see that you only train with a specific amount of people and a specific segment, it's more believable that you can help them. Number two, you can take the concierge approach of making your services, instead of like, maybe you don't want to niche down, but what you can do to stand out from the competition is paint how your services are the best in terms of experience, right? So like, you might not niche down, but you can stand apart by telling the potential customers how amazing it would be to work with you, the experience, right? So you can really double down on the experience part of it. Or the third thing you can do is the identity play. You want to attach like a certain identity that the prospect will get after you getting one-on-one coaching with you. So you can get really creative with that. Like, it really depends on what you want to do. Again, I can't comment for this guy because it's his business, but that's what I would change. Okay, that's the number one thing. The headline, I would take into consideration the fact that the fitness industry is extremely competitive, and I want to make the headline as brief, concise, but different and unique as possible, right? I want to stand out amongst the crowd because there are so many fitness influencers, fitness coaches nowadays. So you want to stand out. One thing I will say though is the fact that he has this photo here of his physique like okay, like he's like his copy might not be the best. He looks the part, so that's good. Good job. But anyways, he says X 160 former addict, now a father, coach, and business owner. I help men build discipline, accountability, and a physique they are proud of through real coaching, real structure, and proven systems that create lasting change. Okay, that's solid. I'm gonna keep it real. Did a solid job. Someone actually built this. I can tell. Oh, wow. Okay, I can tell a copywriter wrote this. Honestly, his landing page is solid, man. Very solid. Okay, all right. This is the free cookbook. Now, let's see. Okay, there you go. This is where he can improve. Okay, he can improve. He can so improve this, bro. What I would do different, okay, is instead of just giving the cookbook straight up, I would put like I would make it like a lead magnet form. So I would make the person enter their email address before they get the cookbook, and that way he can build a solid newsletter, and that is an asset that he can use later down the line to promote his services and supplements and whatnot. Okay, obviously you have to do it wisely. You don't want to always be promoting. However, it can bring in a lot of revenue for his business if he was to do that. Oh, okay, never mind. Yes, but I would still recommend he put it here, right? Because the thing is, not everyone is gonna like join this, right? Not everyone's gonna join this thing because there's no incentive. The thing about this is that there is an incentive to sign up for a newsletter. Whereas with this, it's like build a body, become the man you want to be, join the K-bar community. Like the thing is, they might not want to join the community just yet. So for them, that's not enough of an incentive to get them to do that, right? There's something another thing I do differently is this thing. If you really want to maximize your conversion rate, one like it just needs to be one page, okay, landing page, one offer, one service, right? One call to action. That's it. You may think, oh yeah, if I put my supplements down here, that might help me with my supplements. But the truth is, it's going to help you sell more of your coaching services, and it's not going to help you sell what do you call it, supplements. So it's like focus on one thing, because if you focus on two things at once, it's gonna fail. And someone actually gave me passed along a quote to me once, and it was very beneficial, and it was very unique as well. I've never heard anyone say this, but what he said, he's like, if you try and juggle multiple balls at once, they are bound to all fall. And basically what that means is if you try and do too many things at once, eventually they're all gonna fail. So if you try and put too many things in your landing page at once, none of them are gonna succeed eventually, right? Or at all. If you're watching this, make sure you make your landing page just one. Trust me, it's the easiest and simplest thing you could do to drive your conversions up. Anyways, that's basically it. There are obviously other things I could go over, but overall, that would be what I would change. If you guys got value from this video, then just drop a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you're looking to get more high ticket clients for your coaching business yourself, and you'd be interested in getting help with, like, just drop a comment in the comment sections just saying leads, and I'll get back to you. All right, cheers.